you doing there?
Good to see you. All right, so I got the results. And just like your dad, you do have some prostate cancer in there.
Okay.
All right, that's the bad news. The bad news is we probably caught this very early. And there are options for treatment. Sorry if this thing's in the way. There's options for treatment, but in today's day and age, well, let me back up. The pathologist gives your cancer a score between 2 and 10. It's called the Gleason score. 10 means this is going to be the most aggressive thing in the world. 2 means it's the least aggressive. I've almost never seen a 10, and I've never seen a 2, 3, or 4. So most people are in the 5, 6, 7 range, and yours is 7. So it's sort of in the middle of where most people are. We used to just call it quits at that and say, well, you're a 7 and maybe it's going to grow, maybe it's not. But because this is 2019 and not 1980, we can now take this sample, send it off to a lab in Utah, which breaks down the DNA of your cancer and compares your DNA to the aggressiveness of hundreds of thousands of people that have come before you. And we can give you pretty good numbers about you have a X% chance of dying of cancer or not dying of cancer, an X% chance of responding to treatment, those types of things. If it was me, I would say, Doc, go send my specimen to Utah and let's see what we see.
Right.
Bear with me 1 second. Patient returns. He had a recent prostate biopsy. Carried new paragraph, PSA equal sign 4.8 with 8% free PSA. Next line, prostate volume, equal sign 32.4 grams. Next line, patient's father was treated for prostate cancer. New paragraph, all caps, pathology, dash, dash, all caps, prostate, all caps, biopsy, dash, dash, 10/25/19, dash, dash. Gleason 7 adenocarcinoma, open parentheses, 4+3, close parentheses, in 3 of the 7 biopsied areas, period. New paragraph. I explained to the patient various treatment options are available, including active surveillance, surgery, and radiation, period. We discussed these briefly today, period. He does wish to have his specimen sent for DNA testing with Prolaris testing, period. This will be accomplished and he will follow up in the next few weeks to review this and make recommendations, period.
Hey everybody, it's BB. Alright, today I'm going to give you a little bit of an update on my cameraman's visit to the urologist. Okay, he went, they did a biopsy, or biopsies, and it came back positive for prostate cancer. So, with that in mind, they called him back into the office. They discussed it. He does, there is a scale, a pathology scale, which everybody goes through when your biopsies areas are done. His is a 7, which it's not real bad. It's in the middle, okay? So they've discussed with taking the biopsies that they did take, and they took 16 of those out of him. And they're going to be sent off to Utah for DNA testing. And what that means is they're going to go and test his DNA and the type of cancer that he has with millions of people that's had the same type of cancer, and see what the treatment options are for him that will be best. Again, men out there, whether you are 30, if there's any history of prostate cancer in your family, whether it's your mother's side, your father's side, and it doesn't have to go father, son on, it can skip generations. Please, I'm begging you, please take it upon yourself to tell the doctor, I want this test done. Get the blood test, get yourself checked. With his family history, his father has had it and beat it. His oldest brother has had it, and he has beat it once. There's all different types of options out there. There's removing the prostate. There's what they call seeds, which is basically radiation that they put inside the prostate. And then there's the actual radiation part of it that they can go and do. But with this being 2019, as the doctor said, with the DNA coming back, being tested, we're going to go for our best options. So we'll see how aggressive this type of cancer is, what is going to be our best line of defense in killing it and getting him back to normal. I know there's a lot of side effects with any treatment like that, even with women with hysterectomies. There's always side effects that you have to deal with. So, and we're going to have to find out what those may be as well. But with this, when he went in to have the biopsies taken out of him, and I don't mean to be vulgar, so please excuse me, but they numb your butt. Okay, they numb your butt and you're wide awake. And they take this little, it looks like a straw, and through your anal and get into the prostate, because that's the closest place to do it, and then they nip little pieces out of the prostate. Well, with him they took 16. I guess for whatever reason, maybe because of it being 4.8, or maybe the doctor saw something when the camera was in there. He took 16 of those. So, and with that coming back, definitely being prostate cancer. So, now we have to wait for the test to be shipped off to Utah. And I think the doctor said it takes about 2 weeks to get the results back. So, while we're waiting on that, we're still on pins and needles. But again, everybody out there, men, do not be afraid to get this test done. And if your family, and ask your family, if you don't know, ask your parents. If you still are able to, ask your parents, your aunts, your uncles, is there anybody in the family who's had prostate cancer? You need to find this out. Like you said, in 1980s, not a lot was done with it. Okay, you got cancer, we'll see you in 10 years. Men were dying from this because they didn't know how to treat it. Nobody should have to go through that. Again, get yourself checked and find out if you have family history of it. Now, we knew his family did. But usually, and I say usually, it doesn't usually pop up until like men are in their 60s or 80s, somewhere in that range. But it doesn't matter. If you have it in your family, just get it done. It's a matter of your life. It's a big part of what's going on with your day-to-day life. So if you're having symptoms of problems with urinating or having to push, you know, just simple things that you start finding out of the ordinary, get the blood test done. Okay? And as soon as we get the results of the Utah biopsies, I will be doing a video and putting that up for everybody to know. Okay? So until then, everybody stay safe and see ya.